The Oklahoma City bombing was a terrorist attack in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma on April 19, 1995, where a homemade bomb concealed in a rental truck exploded, greatly damaging the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. A total of 168 people were killed and more than 500 were injured. The building was later destroyed and a park was built on the site. The bombing remained the deadliest terrorist assault in the U.S. until 9/11. At first, suspicion wrongly focused on Middle Eastern terrorist groups, but attention quickly turned to Timothy McVeigh, who had been arrested shortly after the explosion for a traffic violation, and his friend Terry Nichols. Both were former U.S. Army soldiers and were associated with the extreme right-wing and militant Patriot movement. 2 days after the bombing and shortly before he was to be released for his traffic violation, McVeigh was identified and charged as a suspect, and Nichols later surrendered to police. McVeigh was convicted on 11 counts of murder, conspiracy, and using a weapon of mass destruction and was executed in 2001. Nichols avoided the death penalty but was convicted of conspiracy and 8 counts of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to life in prison. Others were convicted of failing to inform authorities about their prior knowledge of the conspiracy, and some believe that other participants were involved in the attack. Although McVeigh and Nichols were not directly connected with any major political group, they held similar views to the broad Patriot movement, which feared authoritarian plots by the U.S. federal government and corporate elites. At its most extreme, the Patriot movement denied the legitimacy of the federal government and law enforcement and used the formation of armed militia groups. The militias justified their cause by claiming a right to armed self-defense against an oppressive government. With this being said, the date of the Oklahoma City attack was significant, falling on 3 anniversaries. April 19, 1775 marked Patriots' Day and the anniversary of the American Rebellion against British authority at Lexington, and the date on where federal agents brought the Waco siege to a climax by raiding the compound of the heavily armed Branch Davidian religious sector in Waco, Texas in 1993. McVeigh claimed that the building in Oklahoma City was targeted to avenge the 70-plus deaths at Waco. A chain-link fence that was erected shortly after the bombing to protect the site and soon became a makeshift memorial to those killed in the incident and was filled with condolence messages, poems, and other mementos. That fence became part of this permanent outdoor symbolic memorial, a field of 168 empty chairs that was dedicated in 2000. A year later, the museum portion of Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum was opened.